April is Stress Awareness Month. And stress impacts the body in several ways. And if you're watching this, listening to this, I want to encourage you by sharing my story. Almost 2 years ago, a little more than 2 years ago, I began a journey of reinventing myself. I began a journey, my stomach is growling, but I began a journey and I did not attach a title to that journey because I did not know that I was going to embark on such a massive journey. The journey almost took me out on numerous occasions. There were endless times of me crying myself to sleep. There were endless times of me questioning God. What could I have done so wrong, so bad to be in this position? There were times where I literally had an out-of-body experience from all of the no's, from all of the stress, from all of the destruction, from all of the distractions, stress. Last year, I had a massive lump right here on my breast. A couple of months before that, I had 3 boils. 3. And in between that, I had chest pains. All of that just last year. I thought on numerous times I was either going to have a stroke or a heart attack because of stress. And thankfully, I am here today to be a vessel and a voice about stress. So let me go back. Let me take you back into time. Yesterday, over the weekend, this past weekend, we went down to Myrtle Beach, me and my family. My entire family has been under stress. Even when you tell your family, your loved ones, that you are okay, if they love you, if they genuinely love you, they will realize and feel that you're not okay. When I came back home yesterday, there was a for sale sign sitting on the porch. I've tried for 3 years, roughly 2, to get approved for a home mortgage loan. And I'm going to show you different times over this week of all of the no's that I received. This is going to be a learning week. Many of us struggle in silence. Many of us are walking around with chest pains. Many of us are walking around with migraines. Many of us are going through it. I've done everything imaginable to secure an apartment, a home mortgage loan, a safe haven for me and my family. And with each no, my body started reacting. See, I've written books. I've hosted events. I attend events. I turned my life around years ago. And before I turned my life around, I wasn't that bad of a person. Had my ways, had my attitude, and I was young. I was in my 20s. But I figured if I turned my life around, that everything would freely come to me. I did not realize that God was going to take me on a journey. And I'm not sure if I'm making any sense right now. So just flow with me, because I don't have it written down, but I want to share. Because I realize that I am a vessel. I'm a change agent. I look at social media, I look at my network, I look at individuals that I've been connected to, and I'm watching everyone grow. And I'm not here to toot my own horn, but I'm thankful to see people that I connected with, connecting and creating the life that they desire. But you can't help but to wonder sometimes, when you're doing greatness, why doesn't it come easy? So I had to understand myself. I had to take a deep dive within myself. I had to become the person that I encourage other people to be. See, I've been motivating people ever since 2013. I had to have a hysterectomy. I suffered from depression. I had to be on antidepressants. The medication caused 2 blood clots in my lungs. But I continued to motivate and encourage people. Why? Because I always sat back and wondered, is there someone going through what I'm going through? Could my lessons uplift someone else? Could my pain help someone else tap into their purpose? It's been a journey. So I start to fill out mortgage loans. The very first application that I did was in Colombia, and it was for an apartment. And at that time, my credit score was roughly in the 7s. It was like 709, 710, it was in that area. I filled out the application, I paid the application fee, and I was denied. My son had just returned home for basic training. And I was doing all I can, because it was at the start of the pandemic. The colleges were closed down, and I was doing all I can to secure us a place. I was denied. So then I started working with this mortgage lender. They told me to do X, Y, and Z, and I did it. I was denied. I had to wait. What's this on my face? Okay. And then they said no. I go to another mortgage lender. I filled out the application. They told me no. What is this? Oh, good. Okay. And I keep going and I keep going. And before I know it, I got all these inquiries. I got all this stuff. I'm sick. I still have a full-time job. I still have a responsibility to my children, my family, myself. But stress was taking me out. Stress. All those no's led me to believe that God was protecting me for something. And numerous times I asked God, what are you protecting me from? Why can't I get out of here? I'm going through a separation. I want to give him back what is his. Why? Why are you making this hard for me? I didn't get my answer. Now, I got my answer. That's my stomach, y'all. I received my answer yesterday. Again, we went to the beach, and I received my answer when my family and I was walking up on the porch, and my son said, "Is that a for sale sign?" All the stress, all the tension, all the negative things released in that moment. I was released because it was at that moment I made a decision not to allow my no's to determine my yes. Not to allow the no's to keep my body tight, intense, chest pains. I made a decision yesterday on that porch. And I asked God, now let me go ahead and say this, because I know I don't want nobody to say, oh, she thinks she a preacher. I'm not none of those things. I'm not an evangelist. I had to do a lot of things to get to this spot. I had to shed a lot of things. I had to release a lot of things. I had to forgive myself. I had to forgive other people. I had to go through all of those things because yesterday God said, I'm going to use you as a vessel. And I said, why me? And what came to me is, I am the voice. I am the one that is going to show people how to maintain their peace in the land of the living. And what gives me that right? I'm going to share with you over the next 7 days of how I made it through. I'm going to share with you stress management resources. I'm going to give you the tools that you need whenever you're going through something. I'm going to be the vessel, and I may not change the masses. I only want to change the people that are assigned to me by God. Because someone tossed and turned last night. Someone cried theirself to sleep last night. Someone did not wake up because of all the stress. Someone is being buried today because of a stroke, a heart attack, a brain aneurysm. I'm going to share my truth, my story. And it's going to help whoever it needs to help. We're in different times. Different times. I truly believe if this pandemic didn't happen, I would have been approved easily. But then again, how can I be a vessel if I never went through anything? I said that 2022 was the year that God told me no. Not only did I suffer mentally, my children suffered mentally. I had to act fast. I had to get my youngest therapy. Thanks to my full-time job. My co-workers, they love me. My family, my friends, they love me. In the old days, they always said it took a village. It took a village to raise children. 2023, it takes a village. Adults need a village. You need people that will pray with you. You need people that will cry with you. You need people that will advise you. Because not all advice is good advice. You need people that is willing to stand in the fire with you. Social support is vital. Yes, I've written books. Yes, again, I've hosted events. Yes, when you see me on social media, it looks like my life is perfect. Yes. So my question to you today is, how do you maintain your peace in the land of the living? When life gets to be a lot, when you're a mom, a dad, you're overwhelmed, you're stressed out, how are you maintaining your peace, your mental psyche? Who is your support system? Who can you lean on? What resources is in your mental toolbox? I don't want to associate struggle with success. But in my research, I look at Tyler Perry, I look at Oprah Winfrey, I look at Sarah Jakes Roberts, I look at Joel Osteen, I look at Vision, I look at all of the people, Iyanla Vincent, and all of them have a story of struggle. And that's how they were able to become the best version of themselves. Again, I don't want you to associate struggle with success. But we all have a story. We all have a testimony. We all have greatness in us. So again, I'm going to share my story. I'm going to offer resources. I want you to share this because you may not need it, but someone you know does. 2023 is just starting. You're in your greatest season. And I'm here to walk you to it. We're going to walk together. Stay connected with me this week.